Hey everyone, and welcome back to the breakfast show. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's been a while, but yeah, took it a little bit easy. Last week was a bit tired, still am tired, but hey, we have a lot to talk about. We've got some potential 10% cap on credit card interest rates. We've got a banger of a video from Jerome Powell that came in, I think, during the night. We've got an earnings week already. Big banks are reporting this week. I think it's the best week for big banks to report their quarterly figures, have an earnings call as well, because despite what you might have heard, the 10% cap on credit card interest rates is not going to hurt the Visa and MasterCard much. It's going to hurt the banks because they are the one with the interest rates. It's also going to hurt the likes of American Express, which I do think that American Express is down more than Visa and MasterCard this morning. Now, on the flip side, we have buy now, pay later players that are up this morning. Because if you're not going to get the credit that we used to get, then I guess you'll try and find another option. And that other option is a buy now, pay later option. Now, of course, for the buy now, pay later companies to do well, they can also not give the option to everyone. They also have to check their losses. We'll see how that will evolve. Again, I don't know if that's going to really become a thing or not. Remains to be seen. But in the meantime, if we look at if we look at the heat map, it looks red. It looks red. So if we go and look at our list here, if we look at our watch list right here, we see that American Express is down 3.8%, Pagaya is down 2%, MasterCard and Visa 1.6, 1.8. Let me check some. Yeah, okay. Sound is fine. Hood is down 1, Nu is down, let's call it 1 as well, Webull 0.8, dLocal 0.5, Shift 4.3, then Chime 0.3, SoFi is flat for now, PayPal is up 0.7, so okay, we'll take it. Block is up 1.5, Affirm is up 2.6, Sezzle 3.6, Klarna close to 4, and Dave close to, 4.4%. As for the neoclouds, we have Applied Digital that's red 2.3, CoreWeave 1.7, Hut 8.6, 0.54, White Fiber, Core Scientific is down 0.2, Cypher is flat, Nebius is up 0.2, and Iron is up 2% on that rumor that's circulating on X that a deal with Anthropic might be announced soon. Okay, cool. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Most of the semiconductors are down this pre-market. Applied Material is flat. As for big tech companies, all of them are down, every single one of them. As for crypto, crypto doesn't have a... So crypto, Bitcoin is still above 90,000, ETH 3,100, Solana 139, and Ripple just above $2. Then if we go and look at our general list, we can see that Duolingo is down 3.8%. Why is that? We'll talk about that in a second. Oscar is down 2.7% after being up quite a lot on, last week. Why is that? Because, the 3-year extension of the ACA subsidies did pass the House, did not pass the Senate just yet, but I think there was a post or a report that said that if it came on President Trump's desk, he might veto the thing. Okay, I mean, as we've said yesterday in yesterday's video, this thing is going to be up, down, left, and right. But as you know, the guidance for 2026 does not include the extension of the enhanced subsidies. As for the rest here, well, the rest is red. Everything is red. PayPal being green is really something, but then again, it is pre-market, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Then, a couple of extra things here. We'll start with the Duolingo news. So we've got this. So Duolingo announces CFO transition. Okay, effective February 23rd, the CFO will step down after nearly 6 years with the company. He will remain CFO until Miss Munson starts her new role, at which time he will assume an advisory role to help provide for a seamless transition. So, okay, we have a transition here of CFO. Every time we hear such things, the market is usually reacting in a negative way for some reason. Okay, fine. But the bigger news, I think the bigger news was this, is the fact that we did get a preliminary update on Q4 numbers. So they said the following thing. Zoom in a little bit more. Voila, better. Fourth quarter daily active user growth of approximately 30% year over year, and bookings at or slightly above the high end of its previously announced guidance in the range of $329.5 million to $335.5 million. We also have a comment here from the CEO. As we said in our third quarter shareholder letter, we are prioritizing teaching better and user growth, and we executed on that strategy in the fourth quarter. While I'm aligned with where I'm delighted with our preliminary fourth quarter metrics, we plan to continue to invest meaningfully in the product, even when it involves near-term trade-offs. We are doing this because our long-term opportunity is to teach billions of people, and while we've made incredible progress, we remain early in our journey. So, okay, one thing, this is fine. The bookings at or slightly above the high end of the previously announced guidance, that's fine. I think maybe the daily active user growth of approximately 30% is what the market might not like. Although, if we look here at the growth rate, last quarter they increased it by 35.7%. And so if it's going to be approximately 30%, these are preliminary numbers, so the approximately 30% can either be 31, 32, or could be 29, 28. I think it's closer to 29 something or 30 point something, 31, something like that. And so it is again a continued deceleration of the year-over-year growth in daily active users. That means this number is going to be probably, 40.5 was the same quarter last year, so what is 52 point something. It's going to be 52 point something million daily active users for the upcoming quarter, which, I mean, they're still growing approximately 30%, which I think is still fine, while also seeing that bookings are better than expected, I would say, because it is going to be at the high end of the previously announced guidance. The stock right now is not reacting positively as you might have expected. The stock is now down 3.8%, which means we're back to the bottom here of November 20th November or so, at $169, $170 per share right now. I hold a position in Duolingo, unfortunately, still. As I said, it was a mistake to go in too aggressively. I still think the company is cheap because the margins are very good. It's profitable. It is growing still. But the reason why I'm not buying to pull down my average is because of what just happened. It's because of the still uncertainty if their plan works out or not. Right? Their focus on teaching better user growth and less on monetization is, of course, one of the main reasons why this thing went down from $260 to, well, the price we're at right now from last quarter. And so I give them time. I still have my position. I'm not adding until we actually see signs of this working out. Plus, this is preliminary result. Well, these are preliminary results, which usually are very close to what the real results are going to be, but we just got two figures. That's about it. When they report the quarterly figures, which did they tell us when that's going to be? Probably not. Let's see, I don't think so. Then we'll get way more information. Plus you'll get the earnings call. We'll get way more information with margins and all of that. So that would be a lot more helpful. So that's me on Duolingo for now. As for the Netflix, well, I can't buy during the weekend, so I did not buy Netflix yet, but I'm probably going to pull the trigger today. Yeah, it's probably time to buy a little bit. For me, a little bit of Netflix. I'm not going to make the same mistake as I said with Duolingo. I'll start small, probably take the cash from Upsellera and put it into Netflix. And yes, I've also seen that with Netflix, it's not a certainty that the acquisition is going to go through. We'll see. We'll see how that will evolve. But even without that deal, Netflix is still a very good company. And I said it yesterday, it's not cheap, very, very cheap. It is cheaper and less expensive than before. Just so we're clear. Good morning from Las Vegas. Good morning, Adam. Hope you are having a wonderful morning. Don't get why Rubrik is getting down. So apparently someone said on X and tagged me that Jim Cramer talked about it. So I guess that explains it. I guess that explains the reason why. Then for the upcoming days, we do have a lot of, well, the start of the earnings season, I would say. So tomorrow we have JP Morgan and Delta, but JP Morgan I think is the biggest one, especially with everything that's going on right now, in the morning. On Wednesday, we have Wells Fargo, Citi, Bank of America in the morning as well. Infosys also in the morning. And then Thursday, we have TSMC, big one, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, and BlackRock, all before the market opens. So although we don't really follow these things quite closely, I think for this week it would be quite interesting to see and hear, maybe hear what they have to say on this whole situation right now with the interest rates, credit card cap, and this whole Fed circus show. Ah, God, I love some tea. Love it. How much Netflix am I going to buy? Well, I sold Upsellera, which gave me $4,000 in cash. So I guess it's going to be 4,000 for now. We'll start with 4 and then we'll make our way up. If the stock continues to go down, I'll accumulate more. And if it goes up, I think they report next week, actually, Netflix. Let's see if we can find that. If it goes up, then fine. Then my initial position goes up and I'll accumulate more when, even at a higher price, I don't mind. Let's see. By the way, if there is some breaking news that comes out, let me know in the comments. No, still no Netflix earnings report announcement. Okay. Then the Jerome Powell speech. So this came out late yesterday. Where is he? Here he is, Jerry. Let's have a listen, shall we? Let's do this.
Good evening. On Friday, the Department of Justice served the Federal Reserve with grand jury subpoenas, threatening a criminal indictment related to my testimony before the Senate Banking Committee last June. That testimony concerned in part a multi-year project to renovate historic Federal Reserve office buildings. I have deep respect for the rule of law and for accountability in our democracy. No one, certainly not the chair of the Federal Reserve, is above the law. But this unprecedented action should be seen in the broader context of the administration's threats and ongoing pressure. This new threat is not about my testimony last June or about the renovation of the Federal Reserve buildings. It is not about Congress's oversight role. The Fed, through testimony and other public disclosures, made every effort to keep Congress informed about the renovation project. Those are pretexts. The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president. This is about whether the Fed will be able to continue to set interest rates based on evidence and economic conditions, or whether instead monetary policy will be directed by political pressure or intimidation. I have served at the Federal Reserve under 4 administrations, Republicans and Democrats alike. In every case, I have carried out my duties without political fear or favor, focused solely on our mandate of price stability and maximum employment. Public service sometimes requires standing firm in the face of threats. I will continue to do the job the Senate confirmed me to do, with integrity and a commitment to serving the American people. Thank you.
Now, say what you want about Jay Powell. He was late to the party to raise interest rates. He was late to the party to lower interest rates. Okay, fine, especially with the raising interest rates. I think with the whole inflation is a transitory thing. I mean, the whole Fed was completely wrong on that front. But you got to give it to the guy. He makes his point and he just stands by it. Again, you don't have to agree with everything that he said or did, but you got to give him some respect with the fact that he stands his ground. Look, this is my job. This is the way we're doing things. Although the price stability definitely, I don't think worked, if we're being honest. Plus, don't forget that it doesn't matter that much right now, since we are going to get a new Fed chair announcement pretty soon. And 2, in May, his term is over no matter what. Now, I will say that firing him, or the criminal charges here, is definitely setting a bad precedent, because you do want the Fed to be independent. That's the whole point of it. Do we need or want them to work a bit closer with the administration, with maybe leaders in industry to get better data? Yeah, maybe and probably. The whole system could use better data, up-to-date data, not data from 3 months ago, and then we have revisions mostly on the downside lately every single time. So whatever this is unnecessary, this whole situation right now, because anyways, he's out of this job in May. Now, he might still stay on board, on the board, because, funny enough, well, maybe not funny for some, but if we go here and look at the prediction markets, Jerome Powell out of Fed board by May 30 is at 65% chance of happening. December 31 sits at 7. Well, okay, this jumps quite. It sits at 70% here as well. It was much higher before. I think it was closer to 80% or so. But yeah, this whole situation, of course, is what brought us to this thing right now. Whether or not something will happen remains to be seen, right? I do agree with him that the charges, well, I agree. I think he makes a point like that the charges are not really about, the restoration and the buildings of things are taking a lot of time and they cost too much money. I think it has been made quite clear to us that the administration is not happy with the way interest rates have been coming down. They think they should have come down faster and more. Whether or not this is a good point to charge them with the criminal stuff, I don't think so. But again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just here to talk about stuff. So everybody has his own opinion. I just think that the Fed should stay independent. You should not be able to pressure them and, in this case, pressure and, how do you say this again? Intimidate them with these types of things. So we'll see. We'll see, but the market hates uncertainty, and so this is what we're getting right now. Mostly red, some green. Some of the green here makes sense. Some of the red here doesn't make sense, but then again, we've had a good start of the year so far. So I don't think we can complain that much. Can we see some data here? Yeah, year to date, I mean, for a lot of the names, quite good for now. Let's see some questiones. He should resign? I don't think he should resign. I mean, anyways, in May he's gone, so resigning won't do much for us. Actually, it will probably hurt the market, to be honest. Is he going to go to jail? Probably not. Probably not, because, I mean, what, are you going to put him in jail because he didn't lower interest rates fast enough? It doesn't make much sense to me. And if it's about the building stuff, again, if they've been transparent and they've updated everyone on the fact that these things are going to take longer than expected and to cost more, then okay. But then again, it's not the first nor the last project from the government, federal, that has taken a long time or that it cost a lot of money. But yeah. If we look at the probabilities of a 25 basis point rate cut for January, forget about it. It sits at 5% right now, and this happens 16 days from now. So you can forget about that for now. In March, also, only 24.3% chance of a 25 basis point cut. If we look at April, still 60.7% chance that we stay where we're at right now. 33.8% of a 25 basis point cut. Then if we look at June, okay, in June, it seems like the market is currently putting June as the next meeting where you're going to see a 25 basis point cut. Now, until June, a lot of things can happen. By then, we'll have a new Fed chair. By then, we'll be past 2 earnings seasons. And yeah, I think that's it. Any other big events? Now, July 4th is your 250th anniversary. World Cup is happening, but none of that really matters for these probabilities here right now. So that was the major news. Well, yeah, the credit card thing, we talked about it at the start a little bit, whether or not it will pass. Again, we have big banks reporting this week. I guess we'll find out what they have to say over the next coming days. Do we have some new price targets floating around here from our analysts? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We have one from Micron. More Rocket. Okay, we'll start with Rocket Lab. We start with the Rocket. The rocket that continues to go up and up and up and up. Midterms. Yeah, midterms could start to heat up in the summer. That is true. That is true. So we have here a price target on Rocket Lab that's been raised from already quite high, $83 to $100, an increase of 20%, maintains an outperformed rating from Bird's here analyst. The reason behind it, unfortunately, is not given just yet. As I said yesterday, I do think that I'll take some profits of Rocket Lab today to also fund the Netflix acquisition. I'm buying the whole company, guys. Purely because I'm up significantly on Rocket Lab. Although I still think this is a $100 billion company in the making, I'm up significantly. And today I do think that a lot of the, especially shorter term catalysts, are more than priced in. So I would still increase. well, not increase. I will still keep the majority of my position, but securing some profits is always a good thing. Christina, am I ignoring your messages? No, you're just not the only one sending messages, so things move in the chat. Let's see what Christina 7885. I've searched for so long to find your video about Upsellera, and when you added it to the portfolio, that is a good point. Do I have a specific video on it, or was it part? It was probably part of a list of stocks, although maybe a live stream as well. I'll try and check later in the library of videos if I can find it, and if I do, I'll just put the Upsellera name in the title so it's easier to find. All right, continuing here. BMNR. They announced reaching 4.168 million tokens and total crypto and total cash holdings of $14 billion. Bitmain staked ETH stands at 1.2 million. They own 3.45% of the ETH token supply, nearly 70% of the way to alchemy of 5% in just 6 months. Yeah, that's quite something. Quite something. Trump will interview BlackRock's Rick Ryder for Fed chair role. Okay, that's a new option in the race of a new Fed chair. Microsoft, Goldman. One analyst at Goldman initiates coverage on Microsoft. Buy rating price target $655, which is 36% higher than where we're at right now. They say Microsoft is best positioned to benefit from compounding AI product cycles. Leadership spans AI compute, copilot, and agent orchestration. Vertical integration supports unit economics and predictable growth. AI strategy maximizes Sharpe ratio of earnings power. The upside scenario is EPS of above 35% by fiscal 30, implying to over 20% growth versus peers. I do feel like Microsoft, and I'm guilty of this as well, they don't get as much attention as the other big tech companies, right? Because I talk a lot about Google and Amazon and Meta, of course, Nvidia as well. But yeah, Microsoft has been left behind a little bit in the coverage. Probably because it has been doing so well and because it is Microsoft. Also, maybe because it's attached to OpenAI, then that's why we're talking more about OpenAI and less about Microsoft. But I do feel like Microsoft, is maybe one of those, I'm not saying flying under the radar, but one of those names that could definitely benefit from maybe a little bit more coverage from myself and maybe some others as well. Do any of you guys actually own Microsoft? We have 15 minutes left until the open. How much Rocket Lab am I planning to sell? I think I'll sell again the 100 shares because I think last year I sold 100 shares at a certain price. Stock dropped. I added 100 shares extra. I think I'll do the same thing. Now. It's not me trying to time the market. If it doesn't drop, then my position will continue to go up, and if it does drop, then I'll add back. Any opinion on Sezzle? I did cover Sezzle in the past when it was, I think, at the same price we're at right now, maybe a little bit lower, and then when it was much, much lower. It's cheap, it's small, it's fast growing. It is very much focused on just buy now, pay later, which is, of course, getting quite a lot of attention right now because of that credit card interest cap that could or could not be a real thing. So, same opinion as before. I think it's a good, small, multi-bagger potential type of company. Yes, it has been doing very well in the past, but it's also down quite a lot from the highs. Although maybe it should have never been that high to start with. Big short investor Burry opens put position against Oracle. Really? Now? And how do we know this? Because he's maybe he says it in his Substack. Okay, maybe. But honestly, I don't really care much what the guy what the guy does. Do you think Netflix is in the value zone now? I mean, I plan on buying it, so I guess yeah. It's not extremely cheap from a PE standpoint, no. But free cash flow is expected to grow faster than revenue and earnings as well. But yeah, I like it at these prices. Goldman assumes buy. Is it the same? Yeah, it's the same analysts for Microsoft and Oracle. Price target $240, 20.4% upside from the price we're at today based on the price target. Okay. So in this case, we do have the analyst that models $10, $15, $25 EPS in their bear, base, and bull cases, assigning a 4-to-1 upside downside skew using 10 to 25 times PE multiples, which is not the craziest thing. Right? If you go from 10 to 25, 25 being the highest, of course, the growth rates should reflect the small premium. I think it makes sense. It makes sense if we do see an acceleration of revenue. Man, that analyst is really busy, huh? So same analyst, also Goldman, initiates neutral on CoreWeave, sets the price target at $86, which is 7.3% higher than the price we're at right now. AI compute advantage, able to secure large customizable deployment with fast time to market, high-end market position, requires best-in-class execution. Okay, the risk here is around 6 times net debt to EBITDA. This raises equity risk, execution exposed to external partner dependencies. This is basically why the stock went down last quarter because of the delays, although they are taking things inside right now to depend less on other partners. No Mbappé start yesterday, no Real Madrid win. Well, I wasn't really surprised. Although Madrid could have scored a last-second goal, but they didn't. They didn't. Let's see. Would you average down on the local at its current price? I still considered it cheap, yes, at around in the 14s, in the 15s as well. Yes. And again, this is the thing with stocks, and especially with just the pricing stuff. Because maybe let's pull it here. Wait. Let's see. Right, as with Duolingo, for example, stock was at around here, $530. May 2025 was expensive. Well, yeah, was expensive. Then it dropped, let's say, to here, 362. Wasn't the cheapest, but it was definitely less expensive. But maybe some people say, oh, stock dropped, what is it? 35% must be cheap right now. But no, it might just be less expensive than before. Because guess what? Afterwards, it dropped another 50%. Now you can say, okay, now it is getting cheap. The same thing with some other stocks here, but on the opposite side of the argument here. DLocal is up from, let's say the same thing here, June 2025. It's up 40% or so. So you might say, oh, it must be expensive now because it's up 40%. But no, it's just very cheap at $10, could still be cheap at $14, could still be cheap at $20. You have to look at how the business actually performs. Because this here, it might tell you what it could do in the short run, things like that. But if you want to know if it's cheap or not, just look at what the business has been doing. Is the stock going up, but is the business going down? Then you are actually getting a much more expensive stock. But if the business continues to go up and to the right, is growing quite quickly, has been executing well, and the stock finally reflects that, then you might be still in a position where, okay, stock might be up a lot, but it's still at a price where I consider it cheap, which with the local specifically is exactly what I said. 14, even 15, even 16, in my opinion, is still cheap, especially based on what the business is doing today and what I think it will be doing in the future. Then, what do we have? We've got some Snowflake notes. We're done with the Goldman Sachs analyst. We have some Snowflake notes downgrade here to $250 per share. DataDog, overrate rating, $180 price target. Someone asked me about DataDog. I can't remember where, on YouTube or maybe on the portfolio thing. DataDog is it's a fast growing company. This is again one of those companies that it's not cheap. It's not cheap, but you would like to see margins improve. So DataDog over the past year is down 9%. Trailing P is very high, forward P is much, much lower. Gross margins, of course, in the 80% range. Free cash flow is 29.3. Operating is still negative. You do want to see the margins to recover, I would say, because they've been coming down a little bit. But revenue-wise, let's do the last 3 years or so. Revenue-wise, it's still quite good. 26.6% growth year over year. We don't have projections for them. Okay. But it's a fast-growing company. Am I interested in it? Probably not. But as we've seen with a lot of software companies, they've all been getting hit substantially over the past 12 months or so. Even the start of 2026, I thought maybe the market finally would like to see software names go up, but yet. That's a big no. Micron was up 70% when I bought it and tripled since then. Correct, again, because here you have a combination of one, stock very cheap, misunderstood, business crushed it, continues to crush it as well. Perfect combination, poof. If you bought it below $100, you are up significantly. Meta, also one of the names I think that presents market-beating upside while not having that much risk, in my opinion. The price target here is $810. That's 24% upside from the price we're at today. Whether or not the price target will be reached this year or not doesn't matter. I do think that Meta goes back to $800. It is the cheapest name in the Max 7. Another is the same analyst. It's the same analyst. Bank of America Securities reiterates buy rating on Amazon, maintains price target of $303. We've talked about Amazon last week. It's also one of those no-brainers to own. Yes, it is already a gigantic company, so yes, it might not be the multi-bagger returns that you're expecting, but is it market-beating returns that you could expect? I do think so. And you don't really have to lose sleep at night. The crazy thing with every time we look at NVIDIA, the price targets, the expectations, it blows my mind because this is already a plus $4 trillion company and it's still growing very fast. Price targets are 40-50% higher than, I think the last week or 2 weeks ago, we looked at one price target that was 80% higher than where we are today. It's crazy to think that this thing can still go up so much. And by the way, just because the price targets are high or low doesn't mean that that's going to be a reality. Analysts are also wrong quite a lot. Citi did upgrade Palantir from neutral to buy, raises price target to $235 from $210. So that means that Dan Ives should increase his price target as well after this, because he usually likes to be the one with the highest price target. We got one from Kratos, AeroVironment, Apple. Apple, the stock has been silently killing everything. I mean, killing it, despite the business really not doing that well to justify the huge upside. But as we've said before, it has more to do with the fact that Apple doesn't have that huge capex risk and still generates billions and hundreds of billions of dollars in profits every single year, which is crazy. I mean, Apple is 35 times trailing PE, 33 times forward for a company that grows slower than the market. Over the past 3 years, the compound annual growth rate has been 1.8%. It's really not much. It's not much, but it gives you, I guess, I think that's what the market tries to say. It gives you the safety and protection from this whole AI bubble, build out, capex cycle. You get your dividend, you get your buybacks, and yeah, I guess that's good enough for most people. Then we have one from Micron. So someone asked here a question about Micron. We have here Lynx Equity Strategies. Never heard of them, but okay. Raises price target to a street high of $550 from $325. That's a 55% upside from the price we are at right now. Something. These are the wonder years for memory suppliers. Micron's gross margin jumped 10 percentage points in a single quarter and 20 percentage points over 2 quarters. Management expects a further increase in the May quarter, albeit at a slower pace. Correct. Okay. I mean, bring it on. Bring it on. I did say that if we do reach $400, I think in the next month or so, I'm also going to take a little bit more profits from that position and keep the rest for the ride. I have 2 minutes for the market open, so let me already close the poll, so this time we don't forget about that. American Eagle also gave us some okay, Q4 to date comps. Never heard of that before. The stock is down, or was down 7% pre-market. All right, let's go and see what we can do with this market. I mean, volatility was to be expected. Did we think that we were going to have like a smooth ride on the way up? I don't think so. So, poll is closed. What did we have as results? 58% say red, 29% say green, and 13% say flat. I think you are going to be correct on this one. Okie dokie, let's do this. And voila. Now we wait. Now we wait until the market opens. Ladies and gentlemen, ding, 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 ding. Although, wait for it. Do have here. The markets are open, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday, January 12th. And as you can see, we've got a lot of stocks that are moving up, down, and well, mostly down. Mostly down. We have some names that are up, but most of the names here are down. The heat map should, actually, let me force the refresh here so we can see what the heck is going on. Okay, not much has changed. Not much has changed for us right now. We still have, that has definitely not changed, Duolingo that's down. 4.3%. HIMS is down 3.5%. Pagaya is down 3%. Did they? I do wonder where I can get. Does anyone know where you could get alerts from when a company, maybe Google alerts, from companies that say that, oh, we're going to announce earnings on that date? Would love to get like a little pop-up so I know exactly when all of these companies report. Okay, let's go list by list. Let's go list by list. Is it this? It is. All right, we'll start off with the fintech names. All right. Discord alert. Yeah, but I don't want to go on Discord. With that ding dong, all days with green. Earnings Hub. Yeah, but does Earnings Hub send me notification? Well, maybe I can pull notifications on. Okay, we'll try that. We'll try that. Oh, I have a cramp in my arm. So America, that the timing is not great. The American Express is down 4.1%. Pagaya is down 3.5%. Microsoft MasterCard is down 2.5%. Visa 2.7% on this whole credit card thing. SoFi is down 1.8%. Chime 2%. Adyen is down 1.8%. Shift4, of course, is down 1.4%. Nu is down 1%. Same with Webull. dLocal is down 0.8%. And of course, PayPal was green pre-market, but of course, it is red. It's down 0.5%. Hood is up 0.6%, 0.7%. Block is up 0.4%. Affirm 0.8%. Was up way more than that before. Klarna 3.6%. Dave 2.3%. And Sezzle is up 3%. That's the list here for the fintech names. As for the neoclouds, Iron is up 2%. Again, I'm pretty sure that it's just on those rumors that were circulating during the weekend. Core Scientific is flat. Nebius is down 1%. Same with White Fiber. Same with Cypher. CoreWeave, Hut8 down 1.3%. And Applied Digital is down 3.6%. But as you can see, last week when it reported its quarterly figures, the stock was up quite significantly. Semiconductor names, Broadcom is up 1%. Applied Materials is up 0.5%. And all the rest are down. But most of the names are down less than 1%. The ones that are down more is Micron at 1.5%, Intel 1.6%, and Qualcomm is down 2%. Big Mac, we have Tesla that's down. Well, everyone's down, but not much actually. Netflix is up 0.75%. The market heard I wanted to buy, so this is the name that's up. As for our general list, Duolingo is down 6.8%, which is, yes, lower than the bottom before. Yeah, it is definitely lower than the bottom before. Could we go all the way back to the bottom here? Monday, the Black Monday, August 5th, 2024. I think it was this point right here, $145 or so. HIMS is down 4.5%. Adobe is down 2.5%. So yeah, all the software names are again getting trashed. Shopify is down 0.6%, but this one has been holding up quite well. Yeah, quite well. Uber is down 1.4%, still in the 80s, so that's good. Rubrik is still above 70, completely filled that gap from the earnings jump. AST Space Mobile is down 2%. Wait, did I skip Rocket Lab? Oh no, Rocket Lab is green. That will help me with my Netflix move. Mercado Libre down 1.9%. So yeah, on the daily here, clear rejection at the 100-day moving average, whatever that means. Zeta is down 1.5%. United Health 2.6%. Did I skip Oscar? No, Oscar is also down 1.5%. Sitting on that 100-day moving average. I did add Root to the list. If some of you want me to cover Root specifically, I did cover it in one of the list videos. as potential multi-baggers. If you want a specific video en route, let me know. En route, it's French. CRM is down 0.7. Marvel is flat. VG, what is VG doing? Venture Global, down 3.2. I've seen this sticker quite a lot on my feed. I don't know much about this, the natural gas, I assume, play. Chelsea will lose tomorrow. Why are you like this? Chelsea will lose tomorrow. I thought we played Wednesday. What is this? Do we play tomorrow? No, we play Wednesday. So if you say Chelsea will lose tomorrow, so be it. Because we're not playing tomorrow. Would you buy ServiceNow at this price? I assume it's also down quite a lot. And I don't think Chelsea will lose on Wednesday. Because we usually turn up on when the big games come, and especially if it's Arsenal. Happy with Man United? Very happy. Very happy that they are out of every competition, that they can win something. Although I guess focusing on the top 4 finish is the most important thing for them right now. I do think it was a silly mistake to fire Bruno Amorim, but Bruno Fernandes. Ruben Amorim. So ServiceNow, let's see. ServiceNow is experiencing a 39% drawdown from the peak a year ago. Okay, it's definitely not a cheap stock. But it is a very, very strong company, very profitable, amazing margins, still expected to grow quite nicely over the coming 2 years, including the fiscal year. Would I buy it? No, because I don't follow this company that closely, so no. Let's see. Nebius 100? Wow. The inner Owen Wilson just popped. What happened here? Babbel is a better company than Duolingo? Maybe, I don't know. You say learning a language on Babbel is better than learning a language on Duolingo. Might very well be. But my assumption is that everyone knows, or most people know what Duolingo is, and most people don't know what Babbel is. But we don't know what the financials are, so I don't know. Jose quit the live streams. He's more focused on I think his new community that he formed. I mean, providing value to that. It's a premium service, pretty good, from what he's shown me. What are my thoughts on HIMS at this level? It did fill this mini gap here from April 25, but I honestly have not been following HIMS closely recently, so I assume something went on here. Although the CEO retweeting eyes emoji of a tweet that said that the short squeeze is coming might have been the signal of the top. I can't believe my eyes with PayPal. If you could describe the experience with one meme. PayPal is the Mickey Mouse that sticks his arms in. That is correct. That is correct. SoundHound AI, where is this thing? If this thing is still at $12, then I guess the market can... Wow, I was so close. So close, 11.9. My thoughts on it is I don't think they have any competitive advantage, but I guess the market thinks it has something. Meta, Amazon, Netflix. Best one to enter right now and hold for 3 years. Huh. Gone freaks. I think Netflix, you run into the case of it might be dead money for a year because of the potential acquisition. So that's a special case. Then as for Amazon and Meta, if you purely look at what's cheaper, you go with Meta. If you're looking for one of the names where the company will show that it becomes more and more profitable pretty soon, you go with Amazon. I think whether you take Meta or Amazon really depends on what you're looking for in a company. I think owning again, I take Netflix out of this question because Netflix has the acquisition. Whether you choose Meta or Amazon, I think it doesn't matter. I think both of them will do quite well over the next 3 years. I watched season 1. I started season 2, episode 1, and I just couldn't connect anymore to this show. I don't know. Too much time went by between season 1 and season 2, and I just couldn't be interested. Strange. Maybe I'll try again, but yeah. So we have some names that are moving. Iron is up. Wow. Okay. Maybe something was announced because even CoreWeave is now up 5%. Nebis, anyone seen something? Let's see if we can find a reason why all the neoclouds are suddenly flipping around. Let's see. Do we see something? CoreWeave. All speculation? Yeah, no, but I think the speculation is very iron related. But most of the names were red pre-market, and even when the market just opened, and suddenly they all flipped, which again, you might be correct that it's just speculation, but that was strange. Can't find anything. Okay, well, I mean, we'll take it. We'll take it. Let's see what else. What else do we have? AST is also at $100. You see, AST being at $100 also doesn't make much sense to me. Like Rocket Lab at 87 is very expensive, but Rocket Lab, at least you can say that the business today is already generating something, a lot compared to AST. And so I think both of these names just have so much baked into them right now that, yeah, if they fall, I wouldn't be surprised. I would also not be surprised if they just stay at these levels for quite a while. Reddit. Is Duolingo in my multi-bagger? I mean, if Duolingo continues to go down, I guess it can become a multi-bagger eventually. But then I wouldn't put it in a multi-bagger list, I'd say. Pagaya is down 7%. Is it? I don't think it's because of that. Or maybe it is. I don't think so, no. Maybe overreaction. Probably overreaction, yeah. Yeah, I think it has still to do with the 10% cap, but I don't see how that negatively impacts Pagaya. But the market always shoots first and asks questions later. Or maybe we we start asking questions later. Why is rubric down? I honestly do not know. I do not know what it would take for the market to pick this one up. And again, the market was quite happy with what he's seen before, which reminds me of the Duolingo action, right? If we go back to the to this one right here, this August quarter with Duolingo, remember, stock went up quite a lot. What was it? 13, but it was up way more than that, 20 something percent, and then full retracement with rubric. And again, rubric has, in my opinion, performed way better. Up, full retracement. PayPal is at April lows. PayPal is at April lows. It could go a bit lower, actually. Could go to $56. This is insane. Insane. I'm laughing. I should be crying, but laughter is better. It did rebound here. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times at these prices. Could it happen again, or could we go lower? Stay tuned for the next episode of PayPal making us bigger bag holders every single day. Every single day. Where is AliBaba today? AliBaba should have been in this list, but it's not, so let's add it. Voila. AliBaba is up 6%. Why is it up? Good question. Although it doesn't really need a reason to be up because it is cheap. I think again, you will see that it is misunderstood by the market. A lot of people, the chart specialists say that we are seeing the same pattern play out. We go up, down, up, down, up, down, and maybe now we're going to go back up. I know this is charting 101, ladies and gentlemen. This is truly remarkable stuff. But I mean, if it works, it works, I guess. But I mean, fundamentally, AliBaba is still, in my opinion, very much misunderstood. Yes, it is a Chinese company, so you always have that China risk. But you also have European risk and you also have US risk these days. So, and Latin America as well. So I don't think you can use the China risk every single time. You can now maybe also say there is also America risk involved. Netflix, let me maybe pull the trigger real quick with Netflix. Yeah, maybe. Who else? AMD, where is AMD? Semiconductors are also a little bit changing, but not by much. Interesting. Taking profits. Voila. Just about 200, I thought, but 20 Duolingo. Yeah. I mean, it can work out. Could also be dead money, but then again, we don't know. Whatever is going to be said when they report earnings, we'll get the margins and the information during the call. How much have you got in calls for PayPal? I took a punt at £500 on $115 September calls, which look dead. So I used to have $100 strike price for January 27 and June 26, March as well. But as you know, I completely changed the strategy a couple of weeks ago. So I now only have $65 June 26 and $70 January 27. Got a decent amount on it, but I am already down 20%, 25% on those because the stock just doesn't move up. It moves down 1% or 2%. But at least it gives me less, much less stress. Although, although if it continues like this, even the $65 will not be achievable. But we have earnings which should be at the start of February, I think. That's going to be quite an interesting one. It's Q4 plus guidance for 26, Q1 26. So should be a stock mover event, hopefully on the upside, because these guys are killing me. Killing me, I tell you. Okay. How many is this? Let's do this. So I think I'll buy 45 shares of Netflix today, and then we'll see how these things evolve over time. And then suddenly analysts, because most analysts did downgrade and put down the expectations going into 2026, which I don't blame them. But then again, a lot of the reasons, they could have given us the same reasons when the stock was at $70 or so. But okay, they waited. They waited, and okay. Starting the year with very, very low expectations allows them, of course, to not look like complete imbeciles when the stock is at $60 and you still have a $80 or a $90 price target. Then something needs to move down. But yeah, if suddenly Q4 turns out to be better than feared, because remember, the comments that we got is that the weakness that they've seen in spending in Q3 has continued in Q4. But if it turns out that Q4 is better than feared, I don't think it's going to be a great quarter. It needs to be better than feared if the comments from management on all of the rest of the business, right? Every good thing in this business, the buy now, pay later, Venmo, Braintree, actually growth accelerating, becoming more profitable. If they do emphasize this, talk about ads, then I think suddenly the sentiment turns around. But I'm not the spokesperson, although sometimes it looks like I am. It's just management needs to do a better job with messaging, because it's great that they can buy a lot of shares at these depleted prices, but at one point you have to look at your track record when you're in charge of the company and see that since you took charge 2 years ago, the stock has done a jack shite, and that's not good enough. So yeah, voila. I am now a proud owner of 45 shares of Netflix. Now the stock can continue to go up. Thank you very much. AliBaba is pumping. Indeed it is. For now. Will you ever sell out of Duolingo for Netflix position? Yeah, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Although again, if the numbers are good for Duolingo, it's just the sentiment that is bad, but the numbers and the strategy still make sense, I don't see why I should sell. But if it's not, then yes, I'll take my loss and move on. I'm not saying it will automatically go into Netflix, but it's definitely going to go into the cash pile, and then we'll see what happens with the rest. Because if Rubrik stays at these prices, I might buy more Rubrik. If Oscar comes down significantly, I might buy more Oscar. I might buy more Shift 4. Might maybe buy even, I don't know, more Meta, more Google, you name it. Maybe even more SoFi. Where is SoFi today? 26.6. Yeah, and they report Friday. Not this Friday, the last Friday of the month. Fintech went from green to red. Yep. Fintech went from green to red. Neoclouds went from red to green. Semis went 50-50. red to green, and big tech went from red to green as well. So you cannot win them all. You cannot win them all. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. What is my goal share of Netflix? Probably to grow this position as big as probably as big as the Rubrik, Shift 4, and Oscar position, which means I do need to increase my position by 4x. So $16,000, $16,000, which in shares would be, I mean, at these prices, yeah, okay, at this price, it's 180 shares or so. If it's going to be 200 shares, okay, big deal. I'll add accordingly, of course, whatever happens with the stock. But yeah, I want probably to have closer to 200 shares, if possible. If possible, because it also means that I will have a position that is very much detached from the AI story and cycle, which could bring some balance in the portfolio, plus still provide me with some good upside. So I like it. I like it. Can you trim? You can trim every single day, every single name. It's up to you. You can trim, you can add, you can sit on your hands and do absolutely nothing. It's really up to you. If you have better positions, if you need the money for something, I mean, first of all, congratulations on buying it at 14 and sticking around until now. Bravo. But yeah, it's up to you, for sure. It does feel good to finally see CoreWeave go up a little bit. Huh? This thing is up 8.8%. Okay, something has to come out, because this doesn't make sense. I was expecting chaos today while we're chilling, because I think the market thinks it's a nothing burger. Plus, I mean, like we said at the start, Powell's job is done in May no matter what. A new Fed chair is going to be announced in the next 30 days, I would assume. So that part doesn't matter. What does matter is the fact that you're using these tactics to pressure a Fed chair, which isn't great. Let's be honest. Doesn't matter if you like Trump, you don't like Trump, you like Jerome Powell, you don't like Jerome Powell. You would like the Fed to be independent. You would also like the Fed to start using better data, maybe communicate with the administrations, with the industry leaders a bit better, etc., etc. That's fine. But I think pressuring them with these types of things to just lower rates, I don't think is the good strategy. But I am not in charge. I'm just a guy on the couch talking about things. CoreWeave. Let's see if someone tweeted about it. I don't know. No, other than the Goldman Sachs thing, we had nothing, and that Goldman Sachs price target is lower than where we're at right now. It's $86. We're now at 87. So I don't know if it's that. Maybe it's a breakout on the charts that we have not seen. I don't know. I don't know. All right, last thing, UiPath. Boop. Why aren't people talking about UiPath? I don't know about you, but this name has been popping up on my stream, on my on my feed, quite a lot. So I do think people are talking about it. We did see, I think this was the first jump because of the snowflake announcement, I think, right? This thing right here. Then it went all the way back, I think, yeah. Then it went all the way back down because the market pulled back. And then here we've got the earnings jump, and then a small pullback here. Again, this is a company, I did cover it, but I did say that the only reason why this thing will go up is if we see growth reaccelerate. And it seems like that's what's going to happen. I still view this as an acquisition target because of the size and the role in this whole agentic AI space. But yeah, one to follow, definitely. Definitely one to follow. Why people not talk about Resolve? Because I don't see why people should talk about Resolve. I don't see what's interesting in it other than the fact that this thing went from $3 to $8.5 and then from $8.5 to $2.3 in less than a year, in half a year. I still don't understand what the heck this business is doing, nor do I personally care what they do. I did take, yes, I took 100 shares off the table for Rocket Lab. I mean, we talked about it in yesterday's video. I mean, it's not what I'm thinking, it's what Anthony Noto said yesterday. He feels that this, if it happens, this would create a big opportunity for SoFi to fill that gap with personal loans. They could still be making money from it and yet charge less than what the, well, credit cards, what the banks are charging right now. And so the whole thing here is it going to happen or is it not going to happen? Luckily for us, banks are reporting over the next couple of days. And so we might be getting a lot more information over this week. I'm the portfolio you can see on Savvy Trader. But yeah, you can create your portfolio on Fiscal AI as well. I do have an Excel sheet, not an Excel, a Google sheet that also tracks it. But yeah, that's one of the ways. More downgrades on PayPal? You don't say. Really? We did see some tweets from Alex Chris yesterday. Yeah, we do see more downgrades. 2 downgrades left. Dropped. One by Goldman Sachs from $65 to $64. Whew, one heck of a downgrade from $65 to $64. Bravo. And then the other one is from TD Cowen from $80 to $65, which again is probably the last one standing, looking like an imbecile because you still have an $80 price target, yet the stock is down significantly. Maybe some of your clients are calling you and say, "Oh, hello, my guy, why are you saying that PayPal is at 80 and we are at what is it, 56, 57? Oof, it's up a little bit." So yeah, ridiculous actually. Any thoughts on Zeta? So Zeta, I do have a video on my channel from June 2025 when it was $12, and my thoughts have not changed since. I don't have a position because I cannot buy everything. But yeah, all in all, I think the market's reaction right now is yeah, it is surprising to see it like this, but hey, we'll take it. We'll take whatever we can get. What is the VIX doing? Is it up? It's up 7% today. I'm also not surprised. All right, folks, thank you all for joining me. I would probably release a video later today, maybe to talk about whatever's happening in the market. Maybe I'll have more news on the neo clouds that are up significantly right now. But it's time to go and work out a little bit. So have a great start of your week. Really appreciate all of you joining me right now, and we shall see each other in the next video or in the next live stream. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.